Maharashtra has the second largest number of MPs at 48 after Uttar Pradesh in the Lok Sabha, which is why gauging the political mood in Maharashtra is so crucial to both the BJP and the Congress. Now, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, we will be looking at certain crucial states and how they could make all the difference to the results. We're kicking off with Maharashtra. And its importance can be seen by the fact that after 5 years of bickering, allegations and threats, the Shiv Sena and the BJP agreed to fight the elections together once again. Remember, the Maharashtra State Assembly elections will also be held this year, in fact, just a few months after the general elections, which makes the voting patterns here even more significant. So to look at how Maharashtra could vote and what are the factors that could influence the outcome, I'm speaking today with senior journalists Girish Kuber and Rohit Chandavarkar. Welcome to both of you and thank you for speaking with us on Prime Time Debate. Mr. Kuber, I'm going to start with you and just to lay out for us why this time round is going to be such an exciting fight in Maharashtra.
Yeah, two important reasons. First is this so-called Modi wave has completely, it's on the wane. So that that impact, Modi impact, it will not be felt on the ground. And another reason which is equally important or rather more important is the last year's drought condition in Maharashtra. So almost like entire Maharashtra, 2/3 of Maharashtra, including the Vidarbha region where Nitin Gadkari and Chief Minister come from, is experiencing severe water scarcity and the rural distress. So I think this will be a kind of a real normal election. A couple of weeks back, it was anticipated in the light of Pulwama attack, considering the hype and hysteria over the issue, that this will be kind of a clean sweep. But no, it's not the case. It will be really like normal, a tough election for the Sena BJP. And I suspect the ruling alliance will find serious challenge, especially in rural areas.
Yeah, the question is serious challenge from who? And Rohit, let me bring you in here. 42 out of 48 seats. That's what the Shiv Sena and BJP alliance got last time round. There is still a lack of clarity on, you know, the NCP and the Congress alliance so far. A lot of parties have refused to enter the fray with them. Yes, Mr. Kuber.
No, that's not the case. I don't think so. It is more or less, except couple of seats in Mumbai. Yeah, except couple of seats in Mumbai, the alliance is perfectly in place. So I don't think that will be that is an issue rather. But Congress NCP will be the real challenger. One factor we have to always look when it comes to Maharashtra is the recent Maratha agitation. Entire Congress NCP base is based on the kind of a community called Marathas, and they are 33% of the total population. While BJP will be trying to get into the OBC turf, Congress NCP will stick to the traditional vote bank, and which is Marathas. And considering the agitation, the agrarian crisis and the debt-related issues, I don't think this Maratha community this time will ditch the Congress NCP, which has been they're always kind of a family affair for Marathas and the Congress NCP. NCP eventually is now it's kind of considered as a Maratha Mahasangha, confederation of all Maratha institutions. So it's not the case what it was few weeks back. Sena BJP will find serious challenge in Congress NCP, and I suspect it will be evenly poised, not that 24-24, but Sena BJP will be having something like around 30 and Congress NCP 18. Last time it was like 42, 41 and 41 and 1. So BJP Sena had 42 out of 48. That will not be the case, and city like Mumbai also will witness a serious fight considering the issues BJP has failed in addressing and the Shiv Sena factor. So I will not be surprised if 3 out of 6 seats BJP and the Sena lose in Mumbai.
Mr. Girish, you spoke about the Maratha agitation and the state government has made some efforts by increasing quotas. Now you have this 10% reservation for economically weaker sections. So on the face of it, they've got what they asked for.
But it's too little too late. That execution of that Maratha reservation is yet to come into force. Number one. Number two is the court challenge. Mumbai High Court is hearing a petition challenging the quota. So it's not so easy to win over Marathas. Traditionally, they are not with the BJP. BJP always banked on OBCs. And the fear is that if suppose Marathas, because of the legal issues, if suppose Marathas are to be given reservation under the OBC category, the traditional BJP base will obviously go away from the BJP because it's a huge issue. You can feel that the simmering pressure between the OBCs and the Marathas because of the local and the legal issues. Marathas, if the government fails to get a separate 10%, 16% quota for them, so they will have to be given reservation under the OBC category. So existing OBCs will definitely feel insecure. And another reason for that is that the Maratha is a kind of a homogeneous community, which is not the case with OBCs. OBCs though are 32%, but number of communities under the OBC is much more than the Marathas. So if you have like 16, 17 communities getting into the same bracket along with the Marathas, which are a homogeneous and a very solid community, it will be politically serious threat for the BJP's hold over the OBCs. So this is the reason actually we have to go into deep, and it explains why BJP will not find so easy. And according to BJP's insider, they are looking at around 30 to 33. I mean, even the BJP is also not going beyond.
No, you know, I understand what you say. You know, Mr. Kuber, this is why I was so interested in starting this whole statewide series from Maharashtra as well, because it sort of reflects in a microcosm at the state level what we're seeing on the national picture. There are relevant issues for the opposition to take up. There are serious issues, but the opposition seems less than active in doing anything about it. So you say that the Congress-NCP alliance is almost there. Meanwhile, Prakash Ambedkar's party has announced seats, and you know they're not joining this alliance at all. Sharad Pawar says he won't contest. There's infighting among the Congress, especially in Mumbai. Complaints against Sanjay Nirupa. Milind Deora is unhappy one day. You know, it seems like a mess.
When it comes to Prakash Ambedkar, he was never trusted as anti-BJP. He's always seen, he and unfortunately OAC also, they're always seen backing BJP from the back door. There always has been a kind of an existing connection between the BJP and Prakash Ambedkar. It's there since Pramod Mahajan's days. So no one was trusting Prakash Ambedkar to contest the BJP, number one. Number two, as far as this Pawar issue is concerned, if you go constituency by constituency, you will realize it's not the way it's been seen from the top. Because the areas like what Pawar was dominating, they are always with the Pawar family. Last time was the only exception because of the so-called Modi wave. And if you look at the voting pattern, these communities have always voted as per the tradition and as per their loyalties. So if you consider the same kind of a voting pattern, because numbers may change, but the pattern generally they don't change election to election. So this is the solid reason to believe that it will not be so easy, or it will not be a kind of a one-sided election looking at the national picture. And this is the reason I seriously feel it's not all gone for the Congress NCP in Maharashtra.
Okay, let's talk about the key issues. You touched upon briefly earlier, Mr. Kuber, the serious issue of farm distress, of drought. We saw that a large number of processions by Marathas all the way to Mumbai in these last 5 years. You know, the BJP and Shiv Sena government says they've done a lot of work. They talk about the Jal Yukt Shivar project. Do you think that there has been enough done for them to save some downslide?
See, it's like when it comes to agrarian crisis, normally the approach is it's straitjacket approach. It's not the case. There are two issues. First is the debt, and second is the overproduction or completely like failing prices. So both you will see in Maharashtra. If you take the case of Latur or region in Marathwada, which is in soybean and cereals, they suffered a lot for two reasons. Because last year the prices fell, and when they went on overdrive in cultivation in various tours and various dals, Maharashtra government got into the imports. So there was a huge surplus, and because of that, again the prices fell. So there is major unrest in that region. And when it comes to sugarcane, now yesterday's report suggests official numbers have come out and UP has replaced Maharashtra. So on that issue again Maharashtra suffered because of water scarcity and also because of the carry forward stocks. So these two issues when it comes to rural Maharashtra are extremely important. And the third is obviously cotton, which is a perennial problem. Year after year, Maharashtra is facing the problem. And again in the region, so interesting aspect this election will throw is the sub-regionalism which is coming out from the various regions. So till now, it was always considered Vidarbha region as a single unity. Unfortunately, because of various issues and the policies of this government, there has been a divide between Eastern UP and the Western UP.
Yeah.
So it's completely new phenomena.
Okay,
and
I want to
go by the voting pattern and the caste angle and the community angle. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get Rohit into the conversation. Rohit, we've gone a little ahead while we were trying to get the technical issues sorted. But I'd like to start with how you think that this fight is placed. After the Shiv Sena and the BJP finally allied, a lot of national opinion polls bumped up the total NDA tally. In fact, one pollster told me that 20 seats were added to the NDA tally after the Shiv Sena finally signed on. Could this have been sort of the saving grace for the NDA?
I think, Tamanna, it's really too early to draw conclusions in terms of any numerical figure. In terms of how many more seats the NDA will get. One new observation that I have seen during this election campaign, which I had not seen earlier, is that almost every week the situation is changing. Every 5 or 7 days there is some new issue that comes up through social media or through media, and the public opinion sways in one direction or another direction. So after Pulwama we had one sentiment, after Balakot we had another sentiment. Now, today, everybody is speaking about Manohar Parrikar's death, how it will affect BJP in Goa, how the stability will be there or not. Public opinion and mind space is moving towards that issue, whether the BJP will be able to handle their alliance partners in Goa and in Maharashtra. One big factor you must understand is that the alliance partners which were taken along 4 or 5 years ago, especially the Republican Party of India and the other small groups, are not on board this time during the election campaign. Ramdas Athawale is openly threatening that he, unless he is given something, he might get into an offensive against the NDA. So are the small other groups like the Dhangar community group and the other groups which are threatening the NDA. So the picture is quite unclear. On the other side also, there are some alliance talks which are stuck in terms of how many or which seats the Congress and the Nationalist Congress Party will contest and which ones will be contested by which party, etc. The big factor of Maharashtra Congress leader Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil's son suddenly crossing over to the BJP has really affected the party's morale, that is Congress's morale, in many belts of sugar-rich Western Maharashtra. Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil has openly said that he will step aside from the campaign for the time being. Remember, he is the leader of opposition in Maharashtra Vidhan Sabha. So what I'm saying is, every couple of days or every 3 or 4 days, the situation keeps changing and it looks either going in favor of the NDA or going against the NDA. The bridge collapse that happened in Mumbai.
Yeah. No, the bridge collapse
the bridge collapse that happened in Mumbai. Work against Shiv Sena. Uddhav Thackeray was not seen anywhere, visiting the hospitals after the bridge collapse, and a lot of flack was, taken by Shiv Sena leaders for that. So I think this is an election after a long time where you see a lot of uncertainty and a lot of divided opinions, and it's kind of too early to put any numbers right now to what will add to what, Tamanna.
Yeah, some interesting points there. Just as an aside on the bridge collapse in Mumbai and six seats in Mumbai to the Lok Sabha. I'm not talking about any particular party, but if Mumbaikars don't start making infrastructure an election issue, then we'll have to live with what we get. And that's just coming from, you know, the fact that I'm from this city. I want to welcome Sujata Anandan to the conversation, political editor, of course, at the Hindustan Times. Ms. Anandan, how do you see the situation in Maharashtra? On the one hand, we have the Shiv Sena and the BJP allying together despite so much acrimony, but that alliance still gives them some arithmetic comfort. On the other hand, there's no clear tie-up between the Congress and the NCP. There is infighting within the Congress. Sharad Pawar says he will not contest. Do you think that there is an opportunity that the opposition seems to have lost this time going into the elections in Maharashtra? And of course, we start in the first phase on April 11th.
Yeah, no, I don't think they have lost an opportunity, and it is not true that the Congress and the NCP are not in an alliance. They decided long back, almost a year back, they decided that they will be fighting the elections together. They have a consensus on almost 45 of the 48 seats. You know, I mean, the thing is the fact that, you know, I mean, they are still deciding and they are still, distributing the seats among themselves is a different issue. There is still a little time, you know, I mean, the nominations have not opened, the withdrawals have not taken place, you know, I mean, so they will all have it in place, you know, I mean, and Sharad Pawar not contesting, what is the big deal about it? He did not contest in 2014 either. And please don't forget that, you know, he's the tallest leader of Maharashtra, 52 years in politics. His first election was in 1967. 14 elections straight. He has not lost a single election. Also, please remember that this time a lot of his great nephews and grandnephews and people like that are wanting to jump into the election fray, and he can't have 4 people from his family or 5 people from his family contesting one election, you know. So the obvious person to step back is this patriarch of the family who has contested 14 elections and does not need to contest
anymore. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying, Ms. Anandan. But it's also being seen as, you know, it's not like members of the Pawar family have not contested before.
Supriya has contested the parliamentary elections.
Yes.
You know, her father is now a Rajya Sabha member. You know, her cousin Ajit Pawar has contested the assembly elections. But we have not had 4 or 5 Pawars wanting to contest the Lok Sabha elections together. That would be rather obscene, you know. I mean, if Pawar gives a ticket to every one of his great nephews who wants a ticket, that would be rather obscene. So obviously he has to set an example and step back. Probably they will decide which one of those great nephews will get the ticket. I think only one of them will get. Okay. So it will be Supriya and this other person who will contest the election.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. And Sharad Pawar is the main campaigner for both the Congress and the NCP. I think they will get their act together. Okay.
So that's a clear indication that so far they haven't, because if they're going to get their act together, so far there seems to be a lacuna.
They have decided on an alliance a year ago. Yeah, almost a year ago.
The question is how many seats? BJP. The question is how many seats?
No, there is this 25 and 23. In fact, it is the Shiv Sena BJP which followed the Congress NCP formula. The NCP wanted 24, and then the Congress said we are the big brother, so they took one more. These people took one less. That is the formula that the Sena and the BJP have followed. You know, I mean, so there is no doubt about the fact that the Congress and the NCP are in alliance. Every leader of each party will tell you that we are together in this election. And Sujay VK Patil is a different issue. Please don't forget that, you know, Sharad Pawar and the Pawar family's rivalry is not so much with the Nehru Gandhis as it is with the VK Patils. Whenever Pawar is strong in the Congress, even Sujay's grandfather Balasaheb VK Patil, he had to shift to the Shiv Sena because, you know, he could not conduct his sugar politics.
No. In fact, I think that transfer of leaders from one side to the other will continue before the elections. Girish Kuber wanted to come in on the points that Sujata Anand and Rohit Chandavarkar made. Just before I come to that, Ms. Sujata Anand spoke about how obscene it would be to have 4 members of a family fight in the elections. I don't know. The levels of what is okay and what is not in Indian politics keep changing from year to year. So I'm not too sure about that yet. But do you have a comment on that?
Absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to go beyond this optics, and I don't think any of the political family in Maharashtra or anywhere in India is bothered about how it will be seen, obscene or not obscene. I mean, this is for the story point, it's fine. But if you go beyond that, you will realize it's a completely different scenario. There are various issues which are not being addressed by the state government. There is the community angle, there is the caste angle, and after a long time, it's quite, it will be seen politically incorrect to talk about, but Maharashtra having a Brahmin chief minister and handling this issue was always a kind of a major challenge for the BJP. They managed during those days, and there was a reason, Modi wave and all that. But now it will not be so easy, because now it's been perceived as why the Maratha anger? Is no one will be saying this reason, but on top of it is the person leading the state and how the majority community is seeing it. So there is a big divide, and if you look at the social distress along with the farm related issues, I think it will be a major change in the political equations we are seeing it now.
Rohit, you want to come in on that? Two of our panelists saying it's going to be a major change. You're saying it's still 50-50 out there, and also the point about Devendra Fadnavis being a Brahmin chief minister. Will this election also be a sort of a decision on his record so far as chief minister?
Tamanna, I think Congress and NCP have used this factor to the hilt in the last 2 or 3 years. Chief Minister being from the Brahmin community. The last reference point to this was when BJP and Shiv Sena ruled in Maharashtra. Shiv Sena had their Chief Minister Manohar Joshi in office, and that was 95 to 99. And that was the time when this issue was again raised by the prominent Maratha leaders of Maharashtra, that how can the masses accept somebody who's not from their community as the leader of the state. So that has been used by NCP already. All the Maratha morchas that you saw in Maharashtra were basically talking about Maratha reservation and about other factors like the Kopardi case and the other things. But the current that was underlying the whole thing, the undercurrent was obviously that the factor was that the chief minister is a Brahmin, which is a politically uneasy kind of a thing for the NCP and Congress to accept. I think the caste equations will also play a very important role in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Usually Lok Sabha elections are not played, they don't see too much of caste equations. That is left for the Vidhan Sabha elections. But this time I think the caste factor is also being discussed very prominently all over the state. Another factor that I think we need to talk about is the rebellion among all the parties, all the stakeholders, because that also is supposed to be at a very high level this time compared to earlier, because the aspiration level among most of the political families and their family members and their rivals is at an all-time high this time. So everybody wants a stake in the pie, and everybody wants to contest the elections. So the moment the political parties announce their lists, you will see that there will be rebellion and rebel candidates. For instance, Dilip Gandhi and his supporters in Ahmednagar districts have already said that BJP ticket should be given to Dilip Gandhi, while CM has announced that it will be almost given or has almost been given to Sujay Vikhe Patil. So these kinds of factors will play in many constituencies where the incumbent BJP MPs want to continue. The party leadership might accommodate somebody who has crossed over from NCP or from Congress that will work against the BJP or the Shiv Sena. So all sorts of equations you will see playing out, and the uncertainty factor, I'm repeating myself, but the uncertainty factor this time is really at an all-time high. And you will see as a result that the margin of the winners might be very low, just in a few thousand votes this time. And in cities like Mumbai, where Shiv Sena is already facing a lot of anti-incumbency with the civic infrastructure debacle that we see, and the other factors like BJP getting into a race with Shiv Sena in many of the MMR region, Thane, Navi Mumbai areas, it's going to be really a close call for everybody. So all we can say as observers of politics in Maharashtra is that this time it is all up in the air and it's very, very uncertain. Tamanna.
Ms. Anandan, what do you make of Raj Thackeray saying just a couple of days ago that they're not going to contest at all? Do you think it's a factor at all? Of course, the MNS has been in that sense losing relevance electorally. But here, do you think it also talks about some kind of a tacit understanding with any of the two sides?
Yes, I'm convinced that he has an understanding with Sharad Pawar's party, or at least with Sharad Pawar, if not his party. And you know, the thing is, he doesn't lose anything. Last time he did not win. He put up some candidates, and he had hoped to win at least one seat. You know, I mean, he did not win. He did very badly in the assembly elections too. So rather than contesting this time and losing the elections, you know, I mean, I think he could be striking a deal with the NCP at least, if not the Congress, because the Congress has openly said that they do not want a deal with Raj Thackeray. It will damage their voter prospects. You know, I mean, so there could be some kind of an arrangement. You know, basically, he would love to damage Uddhav Thackeray and the Shiv Sena. So I think there will be some kind of a tactical arrangement over there. Yeah. I am convinced that, you know, I mean, even if he's not contesting the election this time, he stands to gain a lot by his alliance with the NCP.
All right. Rohit wants to come in on that point.
Just a quick point. I think that arrangement has been already discussed and it is going to play out in the upcoming Vidhan Sabha elections in October. Raj Thackeray right now understands that, you know, he just can't manage to get into this, you know, heavyweight kind of a battle that is going on right now. And he will hold his cards close to his chest. He's in talks with Sharad Pawar, like we see him meeting Sharad Pawar regularly. And I'm sure his firepower in terms of his oratory will have to be used by NCP and Congress to some extent, because he's blatantly speaking against Narendra Modi and the BJP very often at every rally. And that seems to be striking some chord somewhere among the young voters of Maharashtra. So my understanding is that NCP will take him along now, ask him not to contest this time, but accommodate him in some way in the upcoming assembly elections with some kind of an agreement, because there they will have the margin of 288 seats which are to be distributed. In that they will take Raj Thackeray along with some kind of seat sharing understanding. Right now with just 48 seats, I don't think you know, they have space for him, but he's also smart and he's also learning a lot of things. So I think he's realized that it's too early for him to pitch for Lok Sabha right now. He will just stay in the wings right now, I think, and come out at the right time. That's what my understanding of the situation as far as Raj Thackeray is concerned is.
Complex permutations and combinations in the state of Maharashtra. Key takeaways from all of our panelists who, by the way, track politics in the state very, very closely. If you want to understand how the state will vote, this is the show to watch. Key takeaways: it's going to be a close contest. The Maratha agitation matters and will reflect in voting patterns. Rural distress is a big factor, and the BJP-Sena alliance may have saved them some grief, but it's not a sure shot guarantee as far as the outcome is concerned. Thank you to all of you for joining us today, and thank you to all of you for watching.